Once I start, I start. So this paper where I've hit the yellow ochre is now going to be wet paper. So I can go in and add some greens and things, whatever I want, and it's going to be the effect of wet on wet, but only in certain areas. So this brush, I'm getting used to it. It feels real different than the typical brush that I use. So it's fun. I don't like to get locked into any one way of working. Sometimes when you paint a lot, like a lot of us do, you can get a little stale if you do everything the same way every time. So I sometimes try to just change my method a bit. So that's enough of the yellow ochre. Now I can take maybe an olive green. This is olive green, and it's straight out of the tube. Sometimes I amend that with maybe a little purple. Purple kind of darkens it up. And it's true that the main rule in watercolor when you first learn is work from light to dark. So sort of doing that. This is going to be some of the green area on the cliff. It's not terribly difficult to do. I'm not being super careful. I don't care if it looks exactly like what's up there. I just want it to look like a cliff with some green area on it, and that's all I have to do here. So I think it's typical when you're learning watercolor to try to get very, very realistic and have every little piece of color, everything exactly like the original. But what we're doing here is trying to get the essence of the scene. It doesn't have to be everything exactly in place as it is. Nobody ever goes back and looks at that, compares it to your painting. It just doesn't happen. Nobody cares if you've got your paint exactly like the original. Now, that's a nice green. I like it, but sometimes, this is one of them, I like to change that color to give a little variety to the color. I don't want to get the same one all the time. So here's some purple with olive. I know that's not a color combination you think of with olive so much, but it can be quite nice. So we'll put it in there. It's wet into wet, and it's going to change appreciably what this cliff is going to look like.